I'll preface this by saying that the original post was from Reddit by a since deleted user. What happened to them we may never know. I've tried all the hardest psychedelics like DMT and salvia and Benadryl, but they never got me to the trip I wanted. But I found this sub and I thought to myself, this is a new horizon to be explored. So I did all the research and I decided to go with 40 cakes. Call me stupid, but they say hindsight is foreplay or something. Sorry, I don't remember. I needed the experience of a lifetime, so I wanted to go all out. But be warned, as it got quite intense. My age is 23 years old, I weigh 178 pounds, and my name is Ronald. If I were to give you my last name, you could dox me with the phone book though, so sorry. My address is 14.5994 degrees south and 28.6731 degrees west. Starting off, I shoved the first into my butt. This takes about 10 minutes, as I don't have experience with urinal cake moving. 10 minutes in, I shove the next 10 cakes up there, getting easier as I go on, and I'm already feeling the come up. And when I looked in the mirror, my pupils were dilated. 20 minutes in, I got the last 20 in. Walls were starting to breathe and change colours right in front of me. In half an hour, I was now full-blown tripping. The only thing I can compare it to was DMT, but I could still walk around. Walls expanded for miles ahead of me, and then came back and were right in my face. Like the room was a tiny box, while I felt larger than the box itself. Colours changed rapidly, and I was starting to see things like hundreds of phantom snakes on the floor. I think about 50 minutes in is where things started to take a turn for the worse. I'm chilling with my snakes, and then the door flies open, but it actually flies off the hinges and disintegrates onto my face. I got a weird gooey substance on me and my mum walked into the room. I get up and try to explain that I wasn't gay and that the door was just a friend, but then, no joke, she just picked me up and swallowed me whole. Maybe 5 minutes later, I suddenly wake up in a white space and realise I'm not high anymore. And looking back, this was obviously a lucid dream while I was comatose. Everything is dreamlike and crackly. On LSD, everything is relaxed and flowing. On cakes though, everything is flowing and rhythmic, but kind of choppy like a urinal stream. I walked for a long time and I could hear the sound of someone pissing into a urinal. I wanted to get closer, but I could never seem to make any progress, always ending where I started. Honestly, my sense of time was so messed up it genuinely feels like I was in that white space for years. 6 to 10 years of my life is gone and has been replaced with the sound of a man pissing into a urinal. 6 to 10 years! I walked around trying to find that sound. An unknown amount of time passed. I finally see the man at the urinal, still pissing a long stream. The sound starts to get extremely loud, blaring into my ears like a jet engine, and suddenly the man looks back at me and fucking winks. He collapses into the air, and so does the rest of the white space. I wake up, and I'm seemingly back in reality, but I'm in the bathroom for some reason. Except there are no stools, just urinals. There are about a dozen urinals and some sinks, but nothing else. Something was odd about the room. I couldn't tell at the time, but I found out eventually. I left the bathroom and there was another bathroom. The same amount of urinals and the same amount of sinks. I leave this bathroom and I'm met with more urinals. I leave and enter dozens of identical bathrooms until I come to the conclusion that I've died and I'm now trapped in urinal purgatory. I feel constantly uncomfortable, like something is wrong with the urinals, and then it hits me. There are no urinal cakes in any of the urinals. I suddenly feel extremely sick, and suddenly feel an intense pressure in my stomach. I'm suddenly in excruciating pain and start to void my bowels, but the sensation feels oddly distant. like someone else is shitting through my own eyes. It is hard to describe, and that's the best way I can put it. It is horrific nonetheless. I shit myself for what seems like hours before it stops. I gain my composure, and the floor is covered in urinal cakes. Not the shit like I expected. I'd shat out seemingly hundreds of urinal cakes. I reached to pick one up, perhaps inspect it for its flavour, but suddenly everything warps into the urinal cake, and I am in excruciating pain again. I think 2 hours post-ingestion. I wake up in the hospital. Apparently I was able to call 911 saying I overdosed. They pumped my stomach and Narcaned me even though I don't do heroin. I'm in excruciating pain, but it's somewhat bearable because of the meds. They said I barely survived. I survived at a great cost. Permanent kidney and liver damage. Permanent enlarged anus. Heart arrhythmias. Reduced brain size. Cognitive reduction. Permanent colon damage. My shits are massive now, and my IQ is probably reduced significantly. I go for dialysis weekly now. Don't do what I did. Stay away from this drug, because even something like heroin or meth is less dangerous. This stuff is fucked up.